It's 4 o'clock. We're all ready to commence the Justice Committee meeting. I got one of those too. We're good. Preschool kind of wore my kids out. Homeschool did wonders. Okay. All right. Just calling to order the Justice Committee meeting for Wednesday, July 9th, 2025, 4 p.m. Roll call. We have Jim Rogal is absent. I'm here. We have Mr. Reeves, Hanson, yes. Klaus is absent. Byrne is here, and Zebarth is here. All right. I heard the elevator. Okay. Do we have any appearances by members of the public?
Chair Roseman Mendoza, we have no requests this evening.
Wonderful. Okay. All right. Moving on to item number 3, the consent agenda. Do I have a motion for the approval of minutes for June 4th, 2025? A motion by Reeves, second by Byrne.
Are you taking those together as A and B?
I can. And for B, recommend approval of bills and transfers. So we have both Reeves and Byrne for motion and a second by Burns. Okay. Item number 4, department. Oh, do we have any discussion? Hi. It's my first time. Thanks for joining me.
Good.
No discussion? Call for a vote. Those in favor, could you please signify by saying aye? Aye. Motion passes. All right. Number 4, departmental matters. Eileen Pagan Vega, Children's Advocacy Center Director. We have one item to be presented for, we have items to be presented for action. Item 1A, request approval of the agreement between McLean County Children's Advocacy Center and the Children's Advocacy Centers of Illinois, the DCFS grant. Do I have a motion to put that on? I have a motion by Hanson and a second by Byrne. Do we have any discussion, Ms. Vega?
This is our continuation grant for the CAC for the DCFS grant. Our pass-through is through CACI. We received $194,493.26 for FY26, which started July 1st. That's an increase of about $4,000 for the cost of living adjustments that DCFS requires that we do for our staff. I have outlined what those funds will be allocated for this upcoming fiscal year. If you have any questions, please let me know.
Wonderful, thank you. Do we have any questions for Ms. Vega? All right, I need a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes, thank you. For a 1B, request approval of the agreement between McLean County CAC and the Children's Advocacy Centers of Illinois, the VCVA grant. Do we have a motion to put that on the floor? Motion by Reeves, second by Zebarth.
This is also a continuation grant. This one is the federal grant, the VOCA grant. This one maintained the same funding as FY25 with $182,636. This is a grant that might end the fiscal year 26 might be the last year the CAC receives it if the federal government does not continue this funding source. And I've also outlined what the funding will be used for this upcoming fiscal year. Please let me know if you have any questions.
Do we have any questions for Ms. Vega on this? No. I do have a question. If the federal funds are cut, do we have kind of a initial go-to that you're looking towards, or is that?
So CACI has told us that if the federal government does not continue this funding through the VOCA Act, that they are looking at DCFS to kind of cover some of the funding that will be lost for all CACs in the state. they don't know what DCFS, like at what percentage they're gonna cover or raise funding to cover the differential, like basically the $182,000 that would be lost in revenue. That's all they've shared.
Okay, so it's still kind of up in the air, but there's some supplemental options
There
that
are
you're looking to.
exploring options, but at this time, there isn't anything concrete.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
All right. Mr. Hanson?
I know that the Children's Protection Network was originally funded to be the fundraising arm, since these, the CAC and CASA are under county government, and we can't accept gifts, obviously. Have conversations been had yet about possibly utilizing them as a funding source?
They have been a funding source for both CAC and CASA historically. None of their contributions yearly have been anywhere near where the revenue loss would be, if this grant isn't renewed. There have been conversations around what their funding looks like. One of the things that CPN has expressed to me in my conversations with them is that they would like to maintain funding for like one-time costs and like special projects and situations like that. Since their funding isn't guaranteed every year, they don't want to commit to paying salaries and fringe benefits for employees, and then they don't meet their fundraising goals, and then our budget is kind of null at that point, since we wouldn't have the funding to do so. That's been kind of the conversations, and I agree with that. I would hate to bring someone in or commit to those fundings without being sure that we have those that funding coming in.
Chair Byrne?
Ms. Vega, if this grant is not renewed in the following year, what potential loss in personnel are we looking at?
Right now, it funds 100% of both of my advocates, and one of the advocates that is funded through that is also our multidisciplinary team coordinator. They are both funded at, sorry, let me take that back. One of my advocates is funded at 100%. That's the advocate that's also the MDT coordinator. The other advocate is funded at 45% through VOCA and 55% through DCFS.
So about
And then-
1.5.
1.5, and
Gotcha.
then our mental health counselor, our therapist, is funded solely through VOCA at 100%, because that is the only grant that the CAC receives right now that paying for a therapist is an allowable expense.
Gotcha. Okay. So it sounds like it would be a pretty impactful loss then.
Yes,
Okay. Thank you.
no problem.
Thank you, Board Member Byrne. We need to take this to a vote, so for request approval of the agreement between McLean County CAC and the Children's Advocacy Centers of Illinois, the VCVA grant, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion. Anyone opposed? All right. Thank you.
I want to clarify, this is for the VOCA grant, not the VCVA grant. The VCVA grant is a state of Illinois grant.
Okay,
Sorry.
typo, my apologies.
I've
no,
corrected
that's
that
okay.
on our, we'll get that corrected for the full board.
Oh, I see, it's on the, got it.
Yep, question from Mr. Reeves?
For those of us that are new, can you, VOCA, can you explain what that means?
It's the Victims of Crimes Act.
Okay.
And it funds programmings throughout the United States that support victims of crimes. In this case, we receive it for the CAC because we provide forensic interviews and advocacy services for children that are victims of maltreatment in McLean County, Livingston, and DeWitt County.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Thank you. Moving, any more questions or comments? Moving on to 4A1C, request approval of the agreement between CASA of McLean and Logan Counties and the Illinois Association of Court-Appointed Special Advocates. Do we have a motion to put this on the table? A motion from Mr. Byrne and a second from Hanson.
bear with me, because this is two different budgets, but we put it into one because they only sent us one agreement. So this year, we expanded the CASA program to Logan County, and the expectation from Illinois CASA is that that expansion will move into Ford County for FY '26. So the funding that DCFS is providing McLean County for FY '26, which started July 1st, includes McLean County CASA, Logan County CASA, Ford County CASA. If all those things occur as planned, we will receive $129,000, $129,671 just for McLean County operations, and $189,310 for Ford and Logan operations. Let me know if you have any questions.
Do we have any questions? No questions. We need to vote on the request approval of the agreement between CASA of McLean and Logan counties and the Illinois Association of Court-Appointed Special Advocates. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Moving on to 4A1D, request approval of the agreement between CASA of McLean and Logan counties and the Attorney General of the State of Illinois. Do we have a motion? We have a motion from Reeves and a second by Hanson. Do we have any comments?
This is the VCVA grant for the CASA program that will also support McLean County and Logan operations. This one, when we wrote it, we did not include Ford County, so that's not represented into the grant application or the agreement. CASA did receive a $3,981 increase from FY '25 for the VCVA grant. Their total award for this year was $43,981, and the outline for how that money will be expensed is in the memo. Let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you. Do we have any questions? All right, going to vote for request approval of the agreement between CASA of McLean and Logan counties and the Attorney General of the State of Illinois. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Oh, thank you. Ayes have it. On to 4A2, monthly reports. Do we have any monthly reports or any
Yep,
other?
they are included in the agenda. If you any
Okay.
questions, I'm happy to answer.
Do we have any questions? All right, thank you very much, Ms. Vega. Okay, moving on to 4B, we have Erica Reynolds.
Ms. Reynolds is not here this evening. I believe she's at a conference. She did not have any items to present for action, but she does have her caseload and forfeiture fund reports. If you have any questions, we do have a member of her staff here who can try to answer that in the Don Rude.
Do we have any questions? All right, thank you. Moving on, we have 4C, Will Scanlon for the Circuit Court. Do we have any items to be presented? Yes. Also not here, so let's move on to 4D, Kathy Yoder. For McLean County Coroner, we have an item presented for action. I'll need a motion for the request approval of a resolution by the McLean County Board approving the purchase of a power cot and power load system through Sourcewell program from Furno. We have a motion from Reeves, a second by Hanson. And Kathy, would you like to, Ms. Yoder, would you like to?
Sure. Per our letter, this is what it states is a power cot and power loading system. It'll help decrease physical strain, improve workplace safety, and ensure safer, more dignified handling of our decedents. This was approved for this fiscal year budget anyway, and we want to use Furno, which is $10,000 less than Stryker. So we went with another company than what we had planned last year to use. So we looked for something just as efficient, but fiscally responsible for the taxpayers. And as you'll see, the installation, because then you have to build it into the vehicle, which will be a wonderful asset to all of my employees, so thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate you looking into cost and expense on
Thank
that.
you.
Well, we're ready to, do we have any questions for Ms. Yoder? All right, we're ready to take a vote on the request approval of a resolution by the McLean County Board approving the purchase of a power cot and power load system through Sourcewell program from Furno. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? No? All right, thank you. Motion passes. For D2, do we have any other information about your monthly report?
If you have any questions, I'd be happy to ask, or answer them, I'm sorry.
All right, thank you. Do we have any questions? All right, thank you very much, Ms. Yoder. We are moving on to 4E, Matt Lane, McLean County Sheriff. We do have an item presented for action. You need a motion for request the approval of an intergovernmental agreement between the County of McLean, Tri-Valley Community Unit School District 3, and the McLean County Sheriff. Do we have a motion to put this on the floor? Motion by Reeves and a second by Zebar. Sheriff, is there anything you'd like to add?
This agreement is modeled after our Olympia School District agreement. It is much of the same. And they contacted me a few months ago. We really put this together. We were able to pretty quickly. And we would like to have this, if approved, start in August before school even starts, so the officer assigned can, the deputy assigned can go and get familiar with the school and the administration. So, anybody, I'd be happy to answer any questions if anybody has any about it.
Does anyone have questions for the sheriff? Board Member Byrne?
Is this a new placement for an SRO by the Sheriff's Department, the Tri-Valley School District?
Yes, sir.
Excellent, thank you.
Yeah,
Had
we've
they had
only
an
had-
SRO previously, or you were?
They had an SRO at one time. It was probably 15 to 20 years ago. For some reason, that ended, the contract ended, and I don't know if it was their funding or how that worked. I wasn't privy to it back then.
Sure.
But they are very eager, and so are we, to get somebody out there.
Okay. Did they cite any specific reasons why they feel an SRO is needed at this
No, I
point?
think they've wanted one. They just, they were able to fit it into their budget, and they contacted me as soon as they knew they could.
Excellent. All right, well, thank you. Happy to
Thank you,
support.
sir.
Thank you. Do we have any more questions? All right, moving on to vote. We need request approval of an intergovernmental agreement between the County of McLean Tri-Valley Community Unit School District 3 and the McLean County Sheriff. Signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. 4EB, request approval of a partnership agreement between Matthew Proctor and McLean County. Can I have a motion to put that on the floor? One from Hanson and a second by Zebarth. Sheriff, would you like to?
Thank you.
on that?
This agreement is a long time coming. You all met Daisy probably a year ago. She's been a great asset for our agency. A great morale booster for inmates and for staff. She works hard, and this is finally an agreement with her handler, which is Lieutenant Matt Proctor, who did all of the training with Daisy and got certified to be her handler on his own time for us. And so now we do have this written agreement. It's been a long time coming, and I'm hoping to get that passed.
Thank you. All right, we're putting this on the floor for a vote. Request approval of a partnership agreement between Matthew Proctor and McLean County. For those in favor, please say aye. Anyone opposed? That is approved. All right, item 4E2, items to be presented for information. Do you have anything to add, Sheriff?
I do. This, in the near future, you're all going to see in the newspaper, on the radio, or might play something. We have entered into talks and basically a verbal agreement so far with the Illinois State Police and Decatur Police Department to enter into a task force for human trafficking. This is a statewide task force, and we will be part of it. I have not signed the document yet. I was waiting. Decatur, I think just this week, got theirs approved, or late last week. Now it's to me. We're reviewing that document, and I am intending on signing it. It's not a financial responsibility of the county necessarily, so it's something I can sign. I don't, I wanted this committee to know about it, and if you have any questions, please let me know. Some come up, please call me. But I see nothing but good things coming from this task force. Nothing but good things. And we do have, we've had in the past and recently some local issues, and I would like to be part of the solution. So,
Thank you, Sheriff. Do we have any questions? We have Seabarth?
Just curious, this agreement, is it just an agreement for cooperation amongst the agencies or the departments, or what does it signify from the signature standpoint?
the agreement is that our three departments, Decatur, ISP, and McLean County, will be, I would basically assign someone to that task force. I'm not adding a body, okay? I would assign somebody to that task force. They would be sworn in most likely as an inspector for the state police. They would have statewide jurisdiction, and they could go wherever. If they go to Chicago to do an operation, or the suburbs, or they go to, the Southern Illinois, they can go anywhere and enforce with this task force. The main office will be in Decatur. We do not have to be down there full time. A lot of equipment, a lot of investigative tools are going to be supplied. That will be a great benefit to us because it will also be available for other investigations too. So this partnership, I can't find a downside to it. So, yes, sir.
Thank you. Member Byrne?
Thank you, Sheriff, first of all, for being proactive in jumping on this, because it's certainly an issue. To what extent can you give a high-level, give us a high-level idea of some of the human trafficking issues that we see in McLean County and what specific issues we're hoping to solve?
Well, I can't speak. A lot of it has been in the city that my department's not necessarily involved in. That's part of the reason we want to be part of that solution. Okay, and so we haven't had the instances that we are aware of in the county. I'm sure there are some, and so this is to learn how to investigate and make cases against human traffickers. That's part of what we're going to get, is the training on how to do these things.
So it's more focused on training and proactivity than
Yes, sir.
trying to address specific things.
Yes, I don't have a specific problem that in McLean County that I'm trying to address out in the county. I would have to refer to the other agencies, the normals, and the Bloomington and ISP has had this unit for quite some time. They haven't had a task force. They're looking to join up with others to make it bigger and better.
Okay.
So we're going to get a whole lot of training, a whole lot of good access to good equipment in order to make sure this doesn't happen here.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate your
Thank you.
protective measures. All right, do we have any more questions for the sheriff? No, we're going to go ahead and move on to 4F. Ron Lewis, Public Defender. We do not have any items presented for action. Is there any information you would like to bring to our attention?
We only have the standard caseload reports, monthly reports there in the agenda, and I'm available for any questions.
Thank you. Do we have any questions for Mr. Lewis? No? Thank you very much. All right, moving on to 4G, Suzanne Montoya, Court Services Director. You don't have any items to present? Is there any other information? I'm sorry, there are no items presented for action. Do you have any information for Court Services Adult Juvenile Division statistics?
Standard monthly statistics. I'm happy to answer any questions. I would like to mention also, we have 2 graduates of our Veterans Treatment Court on Tuesday, July the 15th at 3:15 in courtroom 4B, and we will also be celebrating Judge Workman's retirement on that date.
Thank
And everyone is welcome.
Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Any follow-up or questions? All right, moving on to 4H, Don Everhart is not present. He does not have any items to be presented for action. If there are any questions about his monthly reports, I'm sure they can be directed to Don Everhart himself or to Cassie for any referrals. All right, moving on, we have Cassie Taylor, County Administrator.
Thank you. I have no items for this committee.
All right, I appreciate it. All right, other business or communication? Do we have anything from anyone on the board? No. Our next meeting date is August 6, 2025 at 4 p.m. We are adjourned. Thank you.